Ladies and gentlemen, last week, members of parliament voted on the finance bill, and the yes vote carried the day. And after that vote, ODM Party issued a statement on its members who defied the party position on the finance bill. ODM position on the finance bill has been very clear from the onset. No vote. So they issued a statement, and that press statement, they listed members of parliament who voted for that bill, and there were four. There was Pasaris, there was Ado Mohammed, Wajir South, there was Elisha Diambo, game member of parliament, and Caroline Omondi. Those ones voted with the government. And then they also listed, I think, 24 members of parliament who were absent on that particular day, because there were claims that those members of parliament who were absent to allow Kenya Kwanza win the vote. And from those members of parliament who were absent, there were some interesting names there. There was the name of John Mbadi, who is actually the ODM chairperson, who was expected and has been a vocal opponent of this particular bill. Then there was Otienda Molo, who was present in parliament on that day but did not vote. There was Babu Owino, and there was some other members of parliament there who were expected to vote no, but they were absent. Then today, ODM Party issued another statement on the status of show cause letters issued to the members of parliament. And from this particular list, 13 members of parliament have decided not to respond to the letter by Raila Amolo Odinga and ODM Party. Interestingly, out of the 4 members of parliament who voted with the government, all of them have responded to the letter. This is what ODM is saying. On Thursday, 15th June 2022, the office of the national chairperson issued show cause letters to a number of members of the National Assembly regarding their conduct during the second reading and voting on the Finance Bill 2023. The following members have replied to the show cause letters. There are actually 17 members who have replied. That is John Mbadi, Ivo Bara, Ben Soda, Polabor. Remember, Polabor is one of the members of parliament who jumped to William Ruto's side. Elisha Diambo actually voted yes, has now responded. Ado Mohammed, he also voted yes, he has responded. Esther Pasaris voted yes. Then there's Caroline Omondi voted yes. Then there's Babu Owino who has responded. George Aladwa has responded. In fact, Kenyans were really wondering why Aladwa did not attend parliament on that day. Then there was Johnson Naika. Then Kakota Maimai, Irene Mayaka responded. One of the nominated MCS from Kisii. Peter Nabulindo has responded. Christopher Saika has responded. Tindi Mwale and Samuel Parashina. But there are 13 members of parliament who have decided not to respond. Let me go through these 13 members of parliament because their names are very interesting. The first person there is Gideon Ochanda. Last time, he never attended parliament. He's one of the members of parliament who has joined William Ruto. And again, he represents Bondo constituency. That's the member of parliament of Raila Odinga's village. No response from him. Then there is number 2, there is Joseph Oyola, who is the Butola member of parliament. Butola, you know, is one of the ODM strongholds. Again, no. Maybe he started working with Ruto, I don't know. Number 3 is shocking. Otienda Molo. Why would Otienda Molo not respond to this letter? If you have any idea why you think Otienda Molo decided not to respond to the show cause letter by Raila Odinga. Because on that particular day, Otinda Molo was actually in parliament. And majority of members of parliament who are in parliament but never voted explained that the speaker lied to them. So Otinda Molo is a lawyer. I don't know why he decided not to respond to this letter. Then there is John Ariko Namoit. That's Turkana South. I think he's also one of the people who are totally against the bill. So why he was not present on that day, I don't know. But I'm also not understanding why he never bothered to respond. Then there is Paul Nabuin from Turkana North. I don't know his position on the finance bill. Then there is Said Buya Habire, the Galone member of parliament. I don't know why. Then there is Said Buya Haribie, who is the Lagdara member of parliament in Garissa. I don't know why. Then there's Mohammed Abdikadir Hussein, Lagdara. Then there's Titus Amala Lurambi. This gentleman was accompanied William Ruto in Kakamega over the weekend, and he was very categorical that for him, he's going to support the bill. I don't know why he never bothered to respond to this letter. Then there is Wilberforce Oundo, who is the Funyula member of parliament. Yeah, Funyula is one of Raila Odinga's strongholds. The governor of Busia comes from Funyula, again working with William Ruto. Maybe I will get to understand. Number 10, there is Mark Nyamita, the Uriri member of parliament, who is a very good friend of mine. Probably I need to call him and ask him why he never bothered to respond. Then there is Daniel Manduku. Manduku comes from Nyaribari, Masaba. He's one of the advocates for the finance bill. He's actually supporting the house levy. Then there is Felix Oduor Jalango. Why do you think Jalango would fail to respond to this letter? You know, Langata is Raila Odinga's bedroom, according to Raila Odinga. Is it sitting room? Yeah, I think Langata is sitting room, Kibra is bedroom. Why do you think Felix Jalango decided not to respond to Raila Odinga? And then there's Fatuma Masito, who is the Kwale women representatives. So from that list, you can clearly tell that something is very clear. And I explained initially that the main reason why ODM issued this letter was that they wanted to know those who are with them. By responding, it confirms that you are with them. But I don't know about Karoli. I don't know about Elisho Diambo. I don't know about Ado. And I also don't know about Pasaris, the 4 who actually voted for the bill. Because for me, even when ODM wrote this letter on this platform, I suggested that this letter should not have been targeted to those who voted for the bill, because it is their right to vote the way they want. You know, ODM Party cannot force their members to vote for the bill. Just like I don't agree with Ruto forcing Wamushomba to vote for the bill, or any other members of parliament from his side to vote for the bill. It's their prerogative. They need to figure out what their constituents want. And again, if you go to parliament and you vote, you should not be punished. And probably that's why all the 4 who voted for this bill have responded. But why do you think ODM issued this list? I think they are sending it to the court of public opinion, which begs several questions. The first question which everybody is asking, why did they ignore this letter? Why did they ignore to respond to the showcase? Why? For me, I tend to think that some of these members of parliament have already left ODM Party. Some of them, people like Otinda Molo, probably they are telling ODM that you guys need to have used your own brain. Because if I was in the parliament, I prosecuted the issue in parliament, then the speaker. Or maybe they just want to, just create confusion. But the question is, why did they ignore? Someone like Jalango mwenyewe. Why do you think Jalango ignored to respond to Raila Odinga? Is it a message to Raila Odinga that for him and ODM, it's a done deal? What about Manduku? What about these other members of parliament? the Bondo member of parliament, why do you think he decided just to ignore? That is something which really I need to understand. Why do you think these members of parliament decided to ignore the letter? The second question is, how will they vote in parliament? You know, we now have 13 members of parliament from ODM Party who decided, for us, we are not responding. We were absent. Then there's a vote in parliament. How are they going to vote? Are they going to vote with the government, which means they'll be showing ODM and Raila Odinga middle finger? Or will they be voting against the bill? And if they're planning to vote against the bill, what's so hard in them just to write a letter? And the other question, which I also think is important, is what will ODM do to them? What will ODM do to them? Because I don't think ODM will be able to suspend or expel from the party all these members of parliament. If there were 2 or 3, probably they would deal with them in other ways. But for me, what will ODM do to them? Nothing, if you ask me. So for me, it's just a waste of time. But if Raila Odinga were to play real politics, he would do what Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua are already doing to Wamuchomba. They've already crafted a strategy on how they are going to deal with her. And one of the strategy is to checkmate. They've identified someone, the former member of parliament, and now they're working with the former member of parliament. And remember, the former member of parliament never just lost because of that. He lost because of running on Jubilee. If he had stuck with UDA, probably would be a member of parliament. So they've identified that individual. Because if you look at the gap, he got 32,000 votes, Wamuchomba thing got 34. So they're already working with that person, checkmating. So probably Raila Odinga can do checkmating. But will they be able to do that from this moment? And again, the question is, what about those who voted no and responded? Because I'm yet to see those letters, but they say, okay, for us, we went to parliament, we voted for the bill. And these are the reasons why we voted for the bill. So they've responded, which means they've actually obeyed. They've actually obeyed your instructions. Then what will you do to them? Will you punish them? So let us wait and see how all these things are going to unfold. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.